This edition of PewterPirates.com brought to you by House of Brews Tavern and Grill. More than beer, House of Brews gives you great food and always great fun. And speaking of food and fun, we'd like to thank our co-title sponsor, Sea Dog Brewing Company. Its Clearwater location and its Treasure Island Brewery by the beach boast the exclusive combo of giving its patrons a New England brewery complemented by a golf-inspired menu. Welcome back to PewterPirates.com and welcome back to football, Buccaneer football again. Yeah, the bye week is history. We're going to preview their next game against the Atlanta Falcons. Here is your menu. Remarkably, the first start of the season for one Jameis Winston. He talks about all the preparation he's put in for this first start of the year. Koetter talks about how he worked with the players during the bye week, and Vita Vea made his long-awaited debut against the Chicago Bears before the bye. Now he should see much more time against the Atlanta Falcons. We'll talk to him as well. PewterPirates.com previewing the Falcons. It's next. Yeah, we appreciate our title sponsors, House of Brews and Sea Dog Brewing Company, and we appreciate you logging on to PewterPirates.com. Remember, if you subscribe, it's free, folks. I'm your host, Mike Nabors. Well, Jameis Winston, another do-over. He gets a big second chance with the start this weekend against the Atlanta Falcons, his first of the year, and the timing may be perfect. Jameis doesn't have a winning record against any team from the NFC South, except those Atlanta Falcons, and he also has more touchdowns and interceptions against the Falcons than the Saints and the Carolina Panthers. This Falcons D is banged up, and Jameis Winston didn't go anywhere for the bye week. He was right here at One Buc Place, ready for this opportunity. What's the biggest difference between you now compared to the quarterback who started last year's last game against New Orleans?
I just think my mentality is just to go out there and win for this team. If that's taking 3-yard completions for the remainder of the game, if that's having to hit a deep shot down the field, my main focus is just winning, not really stressing about anything. I just want to put my team in a good position to win.
Is part of that not trying to do too much, maybe?
I think I'm just trying to do my best to put my team in a position to win. That's the main part. It was kind of an odd place for me to be because I hadn't played 3 games. And I did get that little experience against Chicago, so I just had to stay on it because I ain't been getting hit by guys at all.
And how much were you able to do some things that were opponent specific, gearing up specifically towards the Falcons?
No, just building on my footwork. John Beck, one of my quarterback coaches, came out here and we honed on footwork, timing, every single thing, just getting kind of carved up into being an elite quarterback.
No question, Jameis Winston has done his share of soul-searching during his 3-game suspension, of course, all throughout training camp, waiting and wondering when he would get his shot to lead this football team again. Well, he wasn't alone. His head coach, Koetter, also did some soul-searching at One Buc during the bye week. He consulted with his assistant coaches and, uniquely, with his players, working with them together and how they would turn things around after such a tough loss on the road against the Bears.
You know, when you're a college coach and guys aren't leaving town, you know, you from time to time meet with every guy on your team. Well, I didn't have time with everybody leaving last Tuesday for 6 days to meet with every guy. So I put together just a very short thing that I asked the guys to give me some feedback, and they did an awesome job. I really appreciate their honesty because sometimes honesty can be self-defeating, you know, so make yourself look bad. But I appreciate their honesty and you know, the communication, I think both ways, player-coach, coach-player, was good.
So, yeah, Koetter is ready to rebound. Jameis Winston is ready for his starting debut. And then you have the plight of first-round pick Vita Vea. He got his toes wet up in the Windy City in his NFL debut, but now he wants much more in his NFC South debut this weekend up in Atlanta. We'll talk to Vita Vea next as PewterPirates.com's preview of Bucs Falcons continues. There are a lot of neighborhood bars, but there is only one.
House of Brews!
It's now better than ever, freshly remodeled with a new U-shaped bar, where it's clear everybody's having fun at the
House of Brews!
Armed with a full liquor and wine selection, House of Brews houses a large selection of brews. But come on, this place is more than brews. the food takes it to a whole different level. A fresh daily scratch menu serves up a wide variety of favorites, leaving customers always satisfied at the
House of Brews.
not your average neighborhood bar. Oh, it's so much more. We're back on PewterPirates.com's preview of Bucs against the Falcons. Well, you Bucco fans have had to learn the art of patience. You've been waiting for a playoff game for years. Well, one player who can relate, not to the playoff games, but to patience, is first-round pick Vita Vea. His calf injury kept him out for the bulk of the preseason, the first 3 games. He made his debut finally against the Chicago Bears on the road. Didn't register a tackle, but got in a few snaps. But this week, he should see more action against those Atlanta Falcons, and we caught up to him to preview this game. Vita, how frustrating has it been not to play, and how good is it to finally get back in there?
Shoot, it felt really great to be back in there. I feel like anybody would be frustrated being out for so long. So, it feels good to be back and start getting the swing of things.
To get your feet wet now, how do you see yourself moving forward now in terms of how much you'll contribute?
Just take it day by day, try to get better every day.
All right, so the Buccos seemingly have Vita Vea going. Now they need the other rookie on the other side of the ball to get things going. That would be running back Ronald Jones. And boy, this team needs him, as the running game has really struggled so far. We'll be right back to wrap up this show right after this. Now, you want a drinking and dining experience like no other in Tampa Bay? Well, Sea Dog Brewing Company is the place for you. Its Treasure Island location gives its patrons a beautiful waterfront view with 6 brand new boat slips and more to come. This Sea Dog location has a great selection with local brews, all made in clear water, and oh, the specials. You have daily happy hour Monday through Friday from 2 to 6. Mug Club Monday features $6 mules. Taco Tuesdays are always popular, but don't pass up the $9.99 fish fry Thursdays. And on the weekends, enjoy a Sea Dog Brewery Sunday brunch by the beach. So check out Sea Dog Brewery at Treasure Island, 9610 Gulf Boulevard, Treasure Island, Florida, 727-954-7805. We're back for our final segment here on PewterPirates.com's preview of Bucs and Falcons. You know what? Despite the bad taste in their loss heading into the bye after that horrific loss up in Chicago, the Bucs still very much alive in the playoff picture. In fact, as of right now, they'd be in the playoffs, and they're the heart of the NFC South with the 2-2 mark, and they have a chance to really kick the Falcons while they're down heading up to Atlanta this week. If you want more takes on the Bucs, check out our podcast here on PewterPirates.com. It's called A Few Extra Bucs, a few extra takes with myself and our Buccaneer insider and longtime Buck beat writer Roy Cummings. Check out our podcast, growing and growing by the week, as we have it twice on PewterPirates.com. We'd like to thank our title sponsors, House of Brews and Sea Dog Brewing Company. I'm Mike Nabors. We'll see you again down the road.